star that filled his viewing screen, or the ultimate achievement. It was a gorgeous sight, this glowing, swirling light that filled the cabin and dazzled his eyes. Even at this distance, the sun held the power of life and death. Like a hot, hungry woman, it bewitched. Deliberately, he lowered the shield on the viewing screen. He pushed for more speed, watching the dials as he neared the maximum the ship could handle. A check of gauges showed him that the outside temperature was rising dramatically. He waited, knowing that beyond the protective screen, the intensity of light would have seared his corneas. A man shooting toward the sun risked blindness and destruction, risked never achieving his destiny. He waited while the first warning bell sounded, waited as the ship bucked and danced under the demands of velocity and gravity. The calm voice of the computer droned on, giving him speed, position, and most important, time. Though he could hear his own blood pounding in his ears, his hand was steady as it urged more speed from the laboring engines. He streaked toward the sun, faster than any man had ever been known to fly. Jaw clenched, he shoved a lever home. His ship shuddered, rocked, then tilted. End over end it tumbled, once, twice, a third time, before he could right it. His fingers gripped the controls as the force slapped him back in the chair. The cabin exploded with sound and light as he fought to hold his course. For an instant, his vision grayed, and he thought fatalistically that instead of being burned up in the sun's heat, he would simply be crushed by her gravity. Then his ship sprang free, like an arrow from a bow. Fighting for breath, he adjusted the controls and hurtled toward his fate. What impressed Jacob most about the Northwest was the space. As far as he could see in any direction, there was rock and wood and sky. It was quiet, not silent, but quiet, with small animals rustling in the underbrush and birds calling as they wheeled overhead. Tracks dimpling the blanket of snow around his ship told him that larger animals roamed here. More importantly, the snow itself told him that his calculations were off by at least a matter of months. For the moment, he had to be satisfied with being approximately where he wanted to be, and with being alive. Always meticulous, he returned to his ship to record the facts and his impressions. He had seen pictures and videos of this place and time. For the past year, he had studied every scrap of information he could find on the late 20th century: clothes, language, socio-political atmosphere. As a scientist, he'd been fascinated. As a man, he'd been appalled and amused by turns, and baffled when he'd remembered that his brother had chosen to live here, in this primitive time and place, because of a woman. Jacob opened a compartment and took out a picture. An example of 20th century technology, he mused, as he turned the Polaroid snapshot over in his hand. He studied his brother first. Caleb's easy grin was in place, and he looked comfortable, sitting on the steps of a small wooden structure, dressed in baggy jeans and a sweater. He had his arm around a woman. The woman called Libby, Jacob thought now. She was unquestionably attractive, as females went. Not as flashy as Cal's usual type, but certainly inoffensive. Just what was there about her that had made Cal give up his home, his family, and his freedom? Because he was prepared to dislike her, Jacob tossed the picture back in its compartment. He would see this Libby for himself, judge for himself. Then he would give Cal a swift kick and take him home. First, there were some precautions to take. Moving from the flight deck to his personal quarters, Jacob stripped off his flight suit. The denim jeans and cotton sweater that had cost him more than he cared to remember were still in their plastic holder. Excellent reproductions, he thought as he tugged the jeans over his long legs. And, to give the devil his due, extremely comfortable. When he was dressed, he studied himself in the mirror. If he ran into any inhabitants during his stay, a brief one, he hoped, he wanted to blend in. He had neither the time nor the inclination to attempt to explain himself to a people who were most assuredly slow-witted.